Hi guys, Clara here, and today I'll be showing you how to make an easy clay wolf. I went ahead and prepped all the clay I'll be using to give you an idea of what you'll need. I'm starting off with a large gray ball for the body and rolling it out into a sort of rough cone shape. Then find the point about 2/3 up the cone and use your finger to roll that section out with a little bit more pressure and bend it to give it a slight curve. At the bottom of our cone, I'm also pinching the clay to round out the end all the way around. Hopefully it looks something like this. Kind of like a bent finger. Using a ball of white clay, I'm rolling that out into a log and using the body as a guide to figure out how long it needs to be. Now, I ended up making this way harder than it had to be by flattening it between my fingers, so I fixed that by folding the log in half and flattening it against the table this time. I pinched one end into a point and pressed it flat. Now I can attach it to the underside of the body, and I'm wrapping the pointed tip up and over the narrow end, which will soon be the head. Now pat down all the loose edges and roll the body against the table to blend everything together. I lost a bit of the definition in the neck from rolling, so I'm using a medium ball-pointed sculpting tool to reshape the neck. I'm also using my fingers to pinch the head to give it a bit more of a triangular shape, and I'm bending the neck back so our wolf head is facing up. An easier way to shape the neck is to use your 2 index fingers on either side and press together, then rotate the neck and repeat all the way around. Now, this step may not apply to your wolf, but mine looked like it had a receding hairline, and that's not the look I'm going for. So I squished a tiny ball of gray clay into a triangle and placed it on the top of the head. Once it's blended in, the head is looking much better, but the body is still looking a bit off to me. I figure the simplest solution is to just take a big chunk out of the wolf's rear end and even out the body. After blending the blunt end as smooth as we can get it, I think the head to body ratio looks a lot better. Or maybe it looks no different and I did all that for nothing. Anyway, I'm using a blade to cut a line for the mouth. Then I'm prying it open and I'm inserting a small ball-pointed sculpting tool and I'm using my thumb and my index finger to pinch the sides of the mouth. This way I can round out the opening and make it look like my wolf is howling. I'm continuing to press the ball-pointed tool into the mouth again to try and point the lips out from the inside. Now, either this will work perfectly, or it will turn into a beak. But don't worry, your wolf just needs a little bit of extra clay added to the nose to balance out the mouth. You can blend the clay in place and continue the shaping process using the small ball-pointed tool and your fingers to pinch the mouth. Now, this is definitely the hardest part to sculpt, but with a little patience, getting this part right is what's going to make your wolf look like a wolf. So just keep blending. I'm using my large ball-pointed tool to smooth out the clay around the neck and push some of the white clay into the gray on either side of the belly and then smoothing it out to hopefully mimic the look of fur. Let's finish off the head and add some ears. Squish a small ball of gray clay into a diamond shape and then cut in half to create a triangle for each ear. Now before I add them, I'm squishing the bottom corners down a bit to create a curved edge that will make connecting it to the head a little easier. So after I smooth out the edges on either side of each ear, I'm indenting the center of the inner ear with a small ball-pointed tool. Now this is just my personal preference, but I wanted the gray fur point on top of the head to extend to where the nose would be placed. Now for the nose, I'm roughly shaping a small black ball into a triangle. For the eyes, I indented the area where I think the eye would go. We can use a tiny black log curved downward at the ends to look like a closed eye. And to finish off the face, I'm adding a tiny piece of black clay in the mouth to create a little depth. For the legs, I'm rolling out a medium-sized ball of gray clay into a log, and I'm cutting that into 4 roughly equal parts. Now roll each section again individually to tidy up the cut ends before choosing which 2 pieces will be the back legs. All we're doing is gently compressing them to give the leg a slight curve. Then decide which end is the top and cut an angled section off. For our front legs, I'm rolling out a small ball of white clay into a log and I'm cutting that in half before attaching each half to the end of each leg. Now roll the leg against the table to blend the pieces while pushing the ends in to make sure your leg doesn't double in length. I'm also dragging the gray clay into the white with the ball-pointed tool, then rolling to blend to hopefully mimic a fur texture again. Now repeat the same steps for the second leg, and don't forget to cut the top of each leg at an angle for easy blending later on. Place the 2 front legs below the base of the neck where it meets the body, and with a thumb on one leg and an index finger on the other, squeeze together to apply even pressure for attaching. Place the back legs right before the base of where the tail would be, and squeeze together just like we did for the front legs. Now that they're securely attached, we can use a medium ball-pointed tool or a finger to blend the legs into the body. The tail is made similarly to how we made the body, so roll out a ball of gray clay, but this time roll it into a diamond shaped with roughly equal ends. Roll out a similar shape with a small ball of white clay, but a little thinner, then flatten it out between your fingers before attaching it to the bottom half of the tail. Once again, drag the gray clay into the white clay on both sides and roll against the table to blend. Reshape as needed to redefine the diamond shape, and once you're happy with the look, only thing left to do is attach it to the body. I found it's easiest to blend from the top and then place the wolf down on a table and hold it steady while you push the tail into position. And with all the sculpting complete, our wolf is now ready for the oven. And be sure to check out the video description for more details on baking. Once it's out of the oven and cooled, your easy clay wolf is now complete. Well, maybe it wasn't easy, but I'm sure you'll be able to make better choices than I did. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see me make next, just let me know in the comments. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye!